definitely put a beat down on my Alabama Crimson Tide. And on previous week's calls, I was referring to Chris Cook as a cheater. And I'm very sorry for that. B-Dubs, I hope you can forgive me and we can move past this. But on behalf of myself and Brandon Ellison, who was not confident enough to show face on this call today, I will take that punishment for him. But congratulations to all the Tennessee Volunteers out there.
Well, if you noticed on, in the same way you slammed Mr. Graham, you'll notice your one-to-one coaching slot got extended to 90 minutes next week. And we're going into the 7 levels deep exercise where we ask why 7 times to get to the heart of your issues.
It's been said that I do have some passive aggressive tendencies. And I just want to point out that in the last 10 years, the University of Alabama has been beaten 6 times while they were on the road.
It's impressive.
In all 6 instances, the team we were playing tore down their goalpost and carried them out of the stadium. I think that says something about the program, right, B-Dubs? Is that passive aggressive?
I would agree.
If you beat Alabama, you tear down the goalpost. If we beat you, it's just a Saturday.
In Australia, they call this the tall poppy syndrome. So like when somebody gets elevated, to the top, people just love cutting down that tall poppy. It's a metaphor for that. So it's easy to hate on the victors, easy to hate on. Did I say victors? Hail to the victors.
Hail to the victors. Maize and blue. Let's get into it, B-Dubs, if you will. Top 10 new riders in APV for the week. Coming in at number 3, Deshauna Mason. Number 2, Carlos Garcia. Number 1, Vincent Owens with 7,200. Congratulations to our brand new riders. Top 10 producers in APV. Number 3, Ryan Federico, Todd Joseph, and number 1, Jonathan Nifan with $27,000 in 1 week. Well done, Jonathan. Top 10 producers, number 3, Carlton Lear with 16, tied with Cameron Henderson. Number 2, Michael Matthews. And there he is again, number 1, Jonathan. Pronounce that for me, B-Dubs. How would you say?
I'd say Nidafan.
Nidafan? Well done, Nidafan.
Yeah.
Top Medicare supplement producers, number 3, Adele Vinson. Number 2, Winifred Brown. And number 1, Katerina Pellegrino with $3,000. Top 5 disability income producers, number 3, Manajay Guadami. Number 2, Sharon Carlston. Number 1, Angela Patterson with 6,700 APV. Top 5 IUL producers, number 3, Ruben Fonseca. Number 2, Mary Strider. And number 1, Dana Chrisley with $35,000 in APV. Well done, Dana. Top 5 annuity producers, number 3, Tom Ray Hall. Number 2, Dana Eltz. And number 1, Michael Leidecker with almost $473,000 in face amount.
Go.
Nice. Top 5 debt-free life producers. Number 3, Norma Jordan Bach, $17,000. Sally Jinks, $20,000. And Joel Edelson with $45,000 in debt-free life producers. We hear you and we see you. Debt-free life nation. Awesome things being done behind the scenes in the reset program. I'm so fired up for the opportunities that we're unlocking there for all the families we protect. Looking at new riders, top base shop new riders. Number 3, Kyle and Lisa Kimbrell. Number 2, John Ziller. And number 1, Jamie Susie with 8. Top direct new riders, number 3, Scott Mank. Number 2, John Ziller. Number 1, Jacob Pogue. SNAs week to date got a tie for second. 17 agency owners all popped out 1 SNA. Mr. Nate Offert up front with 2. And top direct with SNAs, we've got John Ziller, we got Nate Offert, we got Marlon Faulkner, and Jacob Pogue took top place with 3. Go ahead, B-Dubs, with those seasoned new agents. Let us know the significance of it as well.
The SNAs, yes, these are agents who have written at least 6 applications in 6 weeks. And in a nutshell, you are off to a great start here. And, it's a great success indicator that you're going to continue to thrive and flourish and move forward in a positive way. So congrats to Andrea Foster, April Pope. I'm going to go last names now. Sorry. Mitchell, Chavis, McKillips, Everingham, Gordy, Rankin, Savage, Johnson, Arndt, Goodman, Lopez, Johnson, Evans, Rababi, Hooten, Owens, and Luckenbill. Congratulations to all of you SNAs that worked so hard to do 6 apps in 6 weeks, and all the leaders right next door to those names in parentheses. We see you, and bravo for agent engagement and what it takes to do that and to lead people well.
Absolutely. Let's go back and forth on these, B-Dubs. I'll kick it off.
Gotcha.
Key leader, APV, number 3, Brenda Smith, number 2, Aaron Avedon, and number 1, Gabrielle and Ike Manello. Coming in at recruits, Alina Cantrell, Shannon Turner, number 1, Wesley Ingbrecht. And for new writers, number 3, Anthony Mendocino, tied there with Charity and Gabe and Ike. Nicely done. And Helen Griffin, number 2, Jennifer Gray with 3.
All right, how about for AOs? We got Mr. John Paul Vetter, Jerry Choate, and Christy Miller at 42,555. For recruits, there's the Gillums, Jordan and Jared, Eric Gurr, aka Gurr. What is it? Gurr. You got to do. And JPV again with that rock look right there. And new writers, Michael Laddecker tied up with Omar Diaz and Val Zarn, and Karen Reed and JPV coming in with 5.
What is JPV's face saying to you in this photo? Is it?
I am.
It's either he knows something you don't know, or try me.
It's. I was gonna say it doesn't work to do like I'm not often on the leaderboards, but when I am, except because it's like I am often on the leaderboards
every week, right?
I am often. That's right. That's right.
Well done, JPV. Agency directors, number 3, Mark Newbauer, number 2, Sarah Reinecke, number 1, Larry and Ann Griffin. When it comes to recruits, we got Mark Newbauer again with 12. There he is, Dave Alvarado, soon to hear from him in just a few short minutes. And number 1, Sean Kim with 14. And new writers, Larry and Ann Griffin with 4, Sarah Reinecke with 8, and Jamie Susie with 8 as well.
How about these rads? Mr. Scott Forehand, there you are, buddy. Trey Alderson Cloutier and Eileen Balmer with 166. Mike Casey, Jim and Jessica Russman, and Frank Brenes with recruits coming up on them leaderboards with 14. Frank, bravo. And for new writers, Esther Carlson and Chris Menifee and Eileen Balmer with 6.
Managing vice presidents, number 3, John Ziller, number 2, Chris Cook. And in first place, Brad and Kira Gainey. Again, with recruits, we've got a tie there. Melissa Weigel, Marlon Faulkner with 9, Griff Martin with 11. Let's go, Griff. And there he is, the non-cheater, the champion himself, Mr. Chris Cook. Congratulations with 28. And new writers, again, we got a tie. Marlon, Christopher Clark, Chris Cook, Melissa Weigel in second with 5, and the madman John Ziller with 7.
Speaking of Chris Cook, it was so fun. He sent me a picture. I was texting him during the game of him down on the field, right in proximity to that goalpost, joy radiating out of him.
Yes.
It was fun to see.
He and Lauren were in attendance. They got down on the field afterwards, sent me a picture not long after. Of course, great sportsmanship. We give each other a hard time in public, but a lot of love between us. And so cool to see them there to witness what was, the first victory in 16 years. So congratulations. You should.
Yeah.
You should tear down the goalpost and act like you've never been there before. Because quite frankly, if you're driving a car right now for the first time, it's the first time you've ever seen Tennessee beat Alabama. So
that's right. That's right. All right. Spiel Denner Financial at 137. George and Janet Matthews, advisory board members at 145, and Nate Offert topping that 200 mark. And the Godfather Tony Cap at 10. Ayers and Sicily at 10, and Nate Offert at 14. Recruits for the week and new writers. We've got, drumroll please, Scott Summers at 4. Mike and Jennifer Colburn at 4. Advisory board Jennifer, shout out to you. And Nate Offert at 7. And
executive vice president, number 3, Darren Stubbs. Darren Stubbs, I owe you a call back, buddy. I saw you called yesterday. I'll be sure and try to follow up ASAP. Mr. Sean Shannon with 124 and Scott Mink at 154. For the number of recruits, Sean Shannon with 8, Darren Stubbs with 9, and Scott Mink with 11. And new writers, Sean Shannon, Darren Stubbs, and Scott Mink in first with 6. Well done.
Right. How about associate partners? Ashley and Tyler Harris, Ryan and Michelle Miller, and Lynn Watkins. That's 668. And for recruits, Kyle and Lisa Kimbrell, Ashley and Tyler Harris, and Lynn Watkins. At 36, new writers, Mr. Miller. That is the Carl version. Ryan and Michelle Miller, and Lynn Watkins at 14.
Senior partners, APV. We've got the Smith Agency, followed by Jacob Pogue, Mr. Danny Young, and Edward Pritchett with just over $1 million. I know Edward is out right now celebrating with several members of Symmetry and other friends, celebrating his beautiful wife, and hope that she is enjoying her 30th birthday.
In my homeland.
In the homeland. Recruits, the Smith Agency with 27, Danny Young with 36, Jacob Pogue 39, and Mr. Pritchett with 75. And new writers again, Young with 9, Smith Agency 11, Pogue 18, and Edward Pritchett with 21.
Why you got to go be adding the fourth person on the last few slides here? I mean, you just start popping out the fourth people, and it's just creating that fairness. All right, we did this one. We just did that one. Keep going. All right, we got managing partner, Mr. Brian Delaney, Mr. Kevin Purdy, Marshall Whalen, topping that $1 million mark. For recruits, we've got Kevin Purdy, Brian Delaney, Marshall Whalen coming in at 88. And for new writers, Delaney, Purdy, Whalen. There we go. Nice little change up on those 3.
That's right. For the directs, look at there. Kevin Purdy just eked out by Scott Mink. Second place, Edward Pritchett with 166 and Jacob Pogue with 239. For recruits, we got Kyle and Lisa Kimbrell with 16. Mr. Cook, 28, and Jacob Pogue with 32. And new writers, we've got Scott Mink, John Ziller, and Jacob Pogue with 9.
All right, how about for base shops? We've got Jamie Susie, Ashley and Tyler Harris, and Nate Offord at 76. We've got Frank Brenes, Mark Newbauer, and there he is, Mr. Alvarado, who'll be on in a minute at 12. And for new writers, we've got Kyle and Lisa Kimbrell, John Ziller, and Jamie Susie.
Very well done. And want to give a shout out. Jim and Jessica Russman had a baby recently, and last report is everybody is healthy and well, and appreciate all the love and wishes. But congratulations to Jim and Jessica Russman on adding a future agency owner to the to the family there. We got some promotions, B-dubs. We got some producers out there that have achieved elite producer level. Congratulations, Kelly Bush and Nicole Russell. Top producers go to Nate Benoit and Zachary Hutchinson. Take it away.
How about those team leaders? Kyle Musilak, Martin Morales, and Shannon Jody Matney. Key leaders, Michelle Hatchett, Nicole Russell, and Reed Hills. Good to see you there, Reed, and Nicole and Michelle. But I know Reed a little bit.
Brand new agency owners, Amanda Torma, congratulations. Giovanna Mitru and Sarah Gonzalez Gutierrez. Congratulations to our 3 new agency owners. Regional agency directors breaking out, Eric and Julie Prebula. Nicely done. And Sue Adams. Congratulations, Sue. Well done, buddy. We talked about it last week. I know that Tyler Harris just absolutely knocked it out of the park. We talked about the social media following, guys, and how it is on all of us to make sure that we're contributing to the greater good. Once again, I encourage everybody, if you've not done so already, bring out your phones, take a quick picture. When the call is over, make sure that you're following all of the accounts that you see on from either Quility or Symmetry as we continue to up our social media presence. Not only just follow, guys, but make sure that you're liking, that you're commenting, and that you're sharing posts if you see fit. It really helps out the algorithms and helps us to up our social media games. Any comments, B-dubs?
Did you ever think you'd be saying, like, we really want you to help the algorithms, That's a good one.
No, but I know that I could have spent my entire 4 years in college learning how social media works behind the scenes, and so grateful. It really makes you understand just how complicated these systems have gotten behind the scenes, and people like Rebecca Cross that are working on the front lines in our recruiting efforts, and just how social media pours in to things like how we're attracting our future agents. And so it is so critical to follow on these accounts and make sure at minimum that you're liking and dropping a comment whenever something is posted. And once again, if you so feel led, make sure that you share, but make sure that you're liking and commenting whenever we're putting out good content. This is you, B-Dubs.
It is, yeah. And just last call, we've got 13 people signed up. If you go to the next slide, all this information is in HQ under Symmetry Coaching. So last minute, kind of last day, if you want to sign up, this is going to be one of our staple coaching groups, I believe, and 90-day cycles going through these 3 segments with an amazing, amazing individual and my old business partner and still dear friend, Mark Herringshaw. Quility wrecked that business partnership, but just by my taking my role. But Mark's incredible. I know a number of you are working with Mark. And really, this is going to take you through the know what of leadership, really that whole leadership skill set, the know who. You're going to get that 5 voices and some self-awareness work. And then the know how. We're going to talk a lot about values and action. So very, very good opportunity. We're going to, I think this is going to be another one that sticks around and cycles through. So last call, if you want to jump into that. If it's not the time, no worries. Next year, I'm really excited. We're gonna change the game on our coaching groups and coaching offerings. We're gonna offer some sort of shorter burst things, kind of broaden the skill sets a bit and get you exposed to some other things. So excited for that. And in the meantime, jump into leadership pure and simple if the fin fits, as they say.
Well done, buddy. Champions Cup, we've got some updates on the leaderboards. Champions Division, we got number 3 right now, James Satterfield. Number 2, we've got Misty hanging in there. Number 1, John Perez with 132,000 points. On to the Directs Division, we've got Scott Mank, followed by Edward Pritchett in second, and Jacob Pogue with the lead in first. Again, remember, guys, this is a very unique opportunity. Be sure to go to HQ for all of the contest details and explanations of how you can qualify. And remember that there is a high emphasis right now on quality of business. So leaderboards can change at any time, and make sure that you producers are out there staying on top of writing good quality, sticky business with all of your clients. For the base shop category, we got number 3, Jeremy Whitaker, number 2, Carlton Lear, and number 1, James Satterfield. On the agency owner side, Keith Fonseca at number 3, Omar Diaz at number 2, and Misty Cintron once again in first place on the agency owner category. Mr.
Ethan Drum.
You got you out there, Ethan?
He's not bluffing today. He is not bluffing
today. Not bluffing today. So our leaderboards for our $5,000 vacation, again, you can find the contest in HQ and in that information. But again, this contest is a $5,000 vacation. Spivey, you can use $5,000 on 1 million destinations. So for Brian, his priorities is somewhere with a really nice hot tub. And so he's going to make sure that money goes towards a really nice hotel. He'd rather have cheaper flights, but a nice hot tub. But I know you want to be near the next Alabama game. So $5,000 that you get to use to customize your vacation, full white glove concierge. So top directs, Ashley Tarr, Brad Smith, Mr. Edward Pritchett. Top AOs, Ashton DeLonglade and LaShawn Toyer, number 2, and Nikki Basham, number 3. And our top overall agents, Tyler J. Harris, number 1, Lola on, help me, B-Dubs.
Anafe.
Anafe. I always don't make the D silent. So Lola, I will get it right next time. Ashton, I did get it right this time. I got much better. So get in there. OT Morales is our 3rd leaderboard agent. So again, guys, share your MyQuility link. Use this as a tool. I've been blown away, Spivey, from hearing Jacob Pogue's story and Ashley Harris's story of where they figured out what we've been saying all along and where people have been using MyQuility to help people on a call, close mortgage protection leads because why? They're able to show the savings of how QRX and vacations can offset that cost to close a mortgage protection policy to really help a family not only live a better life, but live their life to the fullest for less. So Spivey, I know you've been helping a lot with overall the ecosystem of how to share, but I'm really.
Well, I wanted to talk to you about that, Ethan. I appreciate you
talk to me about
cover the leaderboards, and I challenged everyone on the agency owner monthly huddle up this morning, buddy. We've seen a sharp increase in adoption coming out of conference. A lot of people are getting comfortable with MyQuility and how they're implementing it into their business. But I just want to reiterate, Ethan, from your perspective, we've talked about this multiple times. One of the ways to make sure that you're taking advantage of everything that MyQuility offers, not only right now in the immediate savings, but what this program is going to look like in 6 months to a year from now, when it becomes an entire ecosystem of leads and opportunities for us to protect and meet families where they need us most. I think it all starts, Ethan, really, with everybody on this call adopting and using MyQuility themselves. How are we going to go out and teach and encourage others to use this platform if we're not taking ownership and actually getting engaged in doing so ourselves? So, Ethan, any advice, anything you can do to lean into how we can, as individual agents, can take an action item away from this call and make sure that we're utilizing MyQuility on a daily basis?
Yeah, I'm so glad you said that, Spivey. Our leaderboards are one of the best examples of that. The people on this leaderboards, they're not just the leaderboards because they've referred. I can look straight at their activity and tell you they're using MyQuility personally. They are subject matter experts. Tyler Harris is the subject matter expert on Waffle House in MyQuility, but he's also booking vacations. He also, on his leadership retreat, found the MyQuility discounts of a winery and places near his leadership retreat to show his people that not only that he's adopting, but right near his house in the middle of the country is a great winery that he could use. It was on MyQuility. What are the odds that in the middle of the backwoods of Tennessee, MyQuility was there? Well, in 1 million travel destinations in every zip code in America, you can. So these leaderboards are, you should follow. Edward Pritchett's not only one of the #1 directs, he's also one of the #1 users of MyQuility, and he's become a subject matter expert on it. So that's what we want to do. We want to help you. My team, Jerry, Brittany, Kelsey, everyone here wants to help you become a subject matter expert. So one of the things we're doing is, again, training scripts are coming out. We're going to have some summit activation stuff coming out soon. And I'm going to be at the AO Academy. So if you're an agency owner, my job today is to make sure you are a subject matter expert. So use us help you. And so, but also use the platform. Let it become a common practice with you that, just like Tyler, he's getting that buy one, get one free waffle with his daughter on Saturday mornings. So follow in those footsteps.
I'm just so happy to hear that a man that can look as fit as Tyler can still enjoy a waffle.
That's right. That is right.
Yeah.
I love it.
Let's go, Tyler. Appreciate that, Ethan, and all you guys are doing. Again, guys, MyQuility's got so much opportunity. There's so much money invested to the ecoverse of how we're going to reach clients and continue to uncover leads in the future. So let's all do our part and make sure that we're starting with our own participation and making sure that we're using our opportunities to save money on our daily walk. All right, Mr. B-Dubs.
Yes, sir.
One of the things that we sincerely value about this organization is the way that you all continue to give back, the way that Quility's community is committed to making an impact. One of the largest events of the year that we do is, of course, the Make-A-Wish with Central and Western North Carolina. We've got tons of opportunities, guys. That event this year, it's going to be November 16th. It's going to be at 2 p.m. Eastern time. You can get more information on HQ, but guys, do not miss this. This is where we raise significant money for kids that are so deserving of having a once-in-a-lifetime wish granted, something that a lot of people otherwise would never experience. I've seen us raise over $200,000 in less than an hour's time, B-Dubs. It's pretty significant.
Yeah, this is very meaningful. I remember my first one that I was just swept into and got to give to, and When we make work meaningful for people and we align people with purpose, happiness goes up, productivity goes up. People want to be part of something bigger than themselves. That's why we're all on this call, and part of the Symmetry family is it's bigger than us, and we love the opportunity to receive and also to give. Right? We that's that abundance mindset that we have. Right? We want to just be able to bless other people too. So super pumped about this. I know Whit and team do a lot of work to get this ready, so we're pumped up.
Good job, man. Upcoming events for Carrier Webinar, Thursday, October 20th. We've got Foresters on, giving us all updates on their UW product. So make sure that you're tuning in on Thursday, the FIF Reset and Advanced Market Training. We've got that Tuesday, October 25th at 11 a.m. Eastern. It is going to be hosted by none other than Mr. Jeff Sigworth and Nate Burks. Resma, are you out there? Got any updates or excitement you want to add around FIF resets and the advanced markets?
Yeah, we've got all kinds of cool stuff happening. Obviously, the reset program is going. We're working on getting other agencies trained on that. A lot of it comes also with the Jeremy Minor NEPQ sales process, which we're excited to launch and getting close to the tail end, asking those financial situational questions to be able to get a logical and emotional case as to why they need the coverage that they initially responded for, but then also use that form for a reset. So we know that everybody's coming out of conference, there's a lot of rollouts and working on getting Razor Ridge leads in and Switchboard and learning that for your agencies. And as you guys get comfortable with that, the next thing to really focus on is the FIF reset adoption and that new sales scripts. We're excited for that to come. And for those that are advanced market certified, we are happy to announce that for people that have gone through certifications for IUL and for DFL, you guys should be getting reached out to this week, because IUL, IBC, DFL leads will be available to order, and those will go into your switchboard, be able to engage with them and go them. And then annuity leads, for those that have gone through annuity certification, annuity leads will be ready to be launched within the next 10 days as well. So an exciting time in the advanced market sector, and appreciate everybody out there.
Yeah, Mike, hang on with us for 1 second. I want to expand on what you just said, but real quick, guys, everybody take down this note. I did get a text from Andrew Jimenez, who just mentioned that on the fall tour, we're going to have additional dates in Atlanta on November 3rd and Las Vegas on November 10th. So add Atlanta for November 3rd and Las Vegas for November 10th. And we'll make sure that that all gets updated on HQ, where everybody will be able to go for more information. But the fall tour events continue to roll on. Already hearing some tremendous success from those, and look forward to the future events as well. But Ditson, if we got you on out there too, buddy. I know Resma was just talking about the FIF reset program. We've got so many things that are happening behind the scenes when it comes to conservation efforts. When you look at the PCS program that we have, that's providing so much opportunity to continue to engage with clients, make sure they have the protection they need, and to also continue to expand our way of generating passive income for all those who are choosing to build an agency with us. A lot of that gratitude, guys, goes to this partnership, and when Quility was truly formed and we combined Symmetry, we combined the Assura team. And today we're really, really excited. I know Ditson and Resma are as well, to have on Josh and Dave. So guys, if we can get Josh and Dave to pop on the camera, if you will. Stop sharing my screen. Want to say, first of all, welcome to these
What's
two.
up?
Individuals.
There they are. Man, look at Resma. I love seeing Resma's face.
Isn't that good? We got to get him a new hat, Josh. That's the only issue we got going
Go
there.
blue. Come on, Ian Graham. Come on, B-Dubs. Go blue.
I was gonna say
baby.
we got people got to add you to the list. Just I get swept up in there. You're probably more diehard than me, even though my boy goes there.
I'm not there yet to trash talk on the national call.
That's right. That's right.
Well,
Curious
guys,
though, Brian, you said you were going to air out some dirty laundry for me. I'm
Some
waiting for that
grievance.
one.
It's coming. As soon as Spivey's done with the right before you go, because skills break down under pressure. So I want the big build up now. It's not, I'll go in a second after Spivey.
guys, I just want to say to you, Josh and Dave, just sincere gratitude. As with any organization that's merging two extremely successful tenured organizations, we're going to go through lots of ups and downs. We're going to go through a lot of learnings together. The way that you guys have continued to lead, be patient, have confidence, continue to lean into the changes that are surrounding you, and the way that you continue to pour into programs that not only benefit your own organizations, but all 1,700 people on this call right now, in some shape or form, are benefiting from things you've done in the past and things you continue to do. So I know Jason and Mike definitely wanted to say welcome as well.
Absolutely. I'll go first, Resma, because you're long-winded. I am too, though. There's so much to say about both of you, David, Josh. I know, Dave, you've been in this industry now darn near as long as I have, right? You started back in 2005, selling mortgage protection all over the state of California. So, and Josh, what, 2014?
2014, the end of 2014, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that speaks volumes to still be in the industry and thriving, having multi-million-dollar agencies year after year after year, and really going back, and we were talking about the advanced market side, right, and resets, and really focused on that FIF. Dave, when were you introduced to the FIF?
I want to say the FIF was introduced to me back in 2006.
Yeah.
2006, it's very basic form.
So for those of you that are seeing the culmination of what Resma's created with the FIF reset process, like this is what Dave and Josh have been utilizing for the entire time in their career. And that's what's produced that multi-million-dollar agency year after year, because they're able to provide so many other solutions to their clients. There's so much I can say about both of you. Absolutely positive. You drive people, your grind is amazing. For those of you that were listening to everything we say about social media, jump on board, search these guys out on Instagram. They're now. So once again, appreciate you both, and thank you as well for pouring in. Glad to have you on.
I'm going to slip in before Resma, because Resma will be serious and I got to get my beef. I do have one other thing to say, though. No, it was just fun, Dave, with you and your wife in Costa Rica. And what I was going to say to you is, you know, your wife had this bag that I had never heard of called a Chloe bag. And of course, my wife was with me seeing your wife's Chloe bag. So I had to come home, and for our 26th anniversary, I want a Chloe bag. So I had to buy this Chloe bag. Never heard of it. Go online. I'm like, say what? Like, it just looked like a simple, nice bag. And it was not a simple, nice bag. It decked me. So thanks for buying your wife a Chloe bag. But seriously, though, I do want to say quick, when we were merging Assura into Symmetry, I had the privilege of working with Dave and Josh, and just want to say shout out from a leadership development perspective too. I mean, Dave's a Pioneer Guardian ENTJ. Josh, I was thinking you might be even a Guardian Pioneer or a Pioneer Connector. I can't remember. What was your voice order? Do you remember?
I don't know. My wife thinks I'm bipolar, but I think I might be both of them.
Yeah, Guardian. I think you might have been.
I switched between Pioneer, Guardian,
and Guardian Pioneer. I think you were either way, but still, you know, you guys were responsive, took initiative, you know, engaged well, and it shows. And I appreciate you guys and your leadership, and excited to hear from you today.
All right.
Just lastly, I mean, just so much gratitude for these two individuals. And when Spivey told me that you guys were coming on, I definitely just wanted to share my heart with everybody for you guys, because, you know, I started in 2012. You guys were already in. You guys have pushed me. You've challenged me. You've motivated me. I mean, I would not be where I am today without you guys, right? So everything that I've learned, a lot of it is because of you guys and what you did and how you guys led. And unfortunately, I had to live in your guys' shadow for a long time because for 8 years, me being an area manager and an agency owner, I was always number 2 to one of you guys. First, Dave was always number 1 and I was number 2. And then Josh took over and he was number 1 and I was never number 2. So I was always number 2 to these guys. But I wouldn't be, I couldn't be more grateful, honored, and just blessed to be here with you guys. I'm so glad that you guys get this national stage. Just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything that you guys have done for me and challenged me.
Yeah. Proper introduction, Resma. Gee. Well, guys, if you can't tell, we're extremely fired up. This is long overdue. We wanted to have Josh and Dave come on to meet the larger audience at hand here. So we're going to turn it over to these guys. Break out your pencils and your notepads. You're going to get a lot of really great content for 2 individuals that have led from the front for many years and created multi-million-dollar agencies, and zero doubt that this is going to be well worth your time and investment right now to pay attention. So we're going to turn it over to you today, Dave and Josh.
Thank you so much, guys. It means so much to me and to my agency to be here. I can tell you guys that I want to express an enormous amount of gratitude to all of you guys on the call, Todd, Brian, Resma, Jason, the founders, Casey, Brandon, Pope, even Mike Hansen, who was behind the scenes, and for a lot of my time in the industry, he was the person I leaned on. And coming on to this company and being a part of somebody, completely different show, a completely different culture, it feels so good to come on board and just feel welcome with open arms and a lot of love. And I truly want to express that gratitude. Thank you, all of you guys over in Costa Rica, that just made me feel so welcome and so a part of a team, even though we probably have met for the first time. And it means a lot to me, and I know it means a lot to Josh as well.
Yeah, I think the culture speaks for itself. Like, that's the first thing I notice is like the relationships that you build here are phenomenal. Like, Josh Manzano, direct to Symmetry, part of Smith Agency in Alvarado. But gratitude back. I want to give it back. We wouldn't be on this stage if it wasn't for the people on this call. Shout out, I wouldn't be on the stage for my agency owners, Alicia Hudson, Kiahi Ho, but the relationships we built throughout the Smith Agency. We got Nate Offer, Marlon Faulkner, Derek, we got Mike Colburn, like Chris Clark, like all of those geniuses at one table. We were able to do that in Tulsa last week, but huge gratitude to back, because we wouldn't be on this stage. And like Dave said, Hansen, I had the privilege of Hansen being my mentor my first year, and meeting Brian Pope at our first conference at Assura, just walking up to him. I didn't even know who Brian Pope was. And then next thing you know, I'm golfing with him that following weekend in Scottsdale. But that culture is huge to be a part of, and you just feel at home. Like, everyone's willing to help you. Going to Costa Rica, developing a relationship with Ian Graham, with Tim Penzo, with Ryan Federico, like everyone is just phenomenal, and they're willing to help. They're not even a part of our agency, so that's what you get here. If you're brand new, like, that's what you get if you haven't noticed already.
Yeah. So, before we get started, guys, I kind of wanted to introduce myself a little bit. I know you guys have seen me here and there, but I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a background of who I am. David Alvarado here. I got my license back in 2004, and I was excited to start this industry because I got fired from my career, my job, the one that I went to school for and spent thousands upon thousands of dollars to get an education. And just like that, I got let go. And, it's so true. When one door closes, another door opens. And the day that happened, I got a phone call from a buddy that was in the insurance industry. And he kind of just shared it. Hey, Dave, what are you doing? I got laid off, bro. I mean, I'm kicking cans right now. And that day, he's like, hey, well, why don't you come check out the insurance industry? And of course, like everything, I had my pushback. Well, no, man, I don't sell insurance. I'm not in sales. I never sold a thing in my life. And, like every, we closer, we handle objections. He told me, don't worry about it. We'll train you. Don't worry about it. You can do this. If I can do it, you can do it. And I said, all right, fine. I showed up. I was excited. I got my license. And like your first month in anything, you're excited, you're fired up, and you're ready to rock and roll. I had a really good month. I think I paid for $15,000. And I was super excited, made some money. At that time, second month came about, my excitement went down, my ego went through the roof, and now Mr. Know-It-All came out. Oh, I don't have to work that hard. I don't got to work that hard. I know what I'm doing. Hey, if this is easy. And then 3 weeks in a row, no sale after no sale after no sale. And to give you a little perspective, guys, I started in the business saying, I'm going to give this industry 6 months of my undivided attention before I look anywhere else. And I was already thinking about quitting on my second month. So that night, I remember making another no sale. And I said, you know what, maybe this is not for me. Maybe I should just go back to electronics and engineering. But before I did that, I called one of the guys that was doing really well. And I said, hey, why are you making it and why am I not? And, I put myself in that position, and I kind of wanted to hear, a lie like, hey, Dave, you're doing everything right. It's just probably not for you. But no, he told me the truth. And that truth was, you're not following the system. You're not following the scripts. You show up late, you leave early, you're cocky, you're arrogant, and you're stupid. And I was like, wow, okay, well, that's not what I thought you were gonna tell me. And it felt like I got punched in the stomach, if anybody's ever felt that. And I went home that day and I literally took like 30 minutes staring into the mirror. And I said, David, if it's really you, man, shame on you. That's not who you are. And at that moment, I made a commitment to myself. I said, hey, you want to quit after 2 months in the business now, and you gave yourself 6 months. Now you've done this your way. Now it's time for you to do it their way. And if it works, you're supposed to become successful. If it doesn't, you can always go back to electronics. I walked in on Monday and I said, Sean, back to the guy's name was Sean. I said, Sean, hey, listen, I understand I've been a knucklehead and I haven't been doing the system. And I want to let you know that I'm committed. There's no more plan B. I am 2 feet in and I'm willing to submit to the system, to your training. And if I do everything I'm supposed to do, I'm supposed to be successful. Is that right? And he said, without a doubt. And I said, okay, great. I'm going to ask for training. I'm going to ask for mentorship. I'm going to study everything. And if I don't do it, Sean, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to fire me. And he chuckled, he laughed. He's like, dude, I was going to fire you anyway. And at that moment, my hands got a little clammy. My face got white. And I said, well, why? And he said, well, Dave, you don't show up on time. You leave early. You don't study. You're failing. You're arrogant. And why should I keep you on my team if you're just showing failure to the rest of the organization? But he said, you know what? I'm going to give you another chance because you came to me and I'm going to tell you everything you need to know. And if you don't do it, I'm going to fire you. Is that fair enough? I said, deal. I went back to my cubicle. I kid you not, it was like a different person. And I just did everything he told me to do. I eliminated all distractions. And it's like magic happened, a blessing in disguise. I became a top producer within 3 months after that. So 5th month in the business, 6th month in the business, I bought myself a brand new Lexus. 12 months in the business, I bought myself my very first house, 24 years old. And I walked in with a pillow, blanket, and a suitcase, scared out of my mind because it was a big empty house. And I never lived on my own ever. I kept succeeding. And then finally something came in my head. Hey, become an agency owner. I became an agency owner in 2010 when I met Mike Hansen and Brian Pope. I became a top producing agency owner in 2011 and 12. And then in 2015, I hired somebody that says, you know what, I want to be your protege. And I said, okay, well, you're ready to work hard, be mentored, be coachable, and be held accountable. You see, I want to achieve everything you got and more. I said, okay, ever since that moment, That person became the top producer rookie of the year in my office. 2 years into his business, he became an agency owner. 3rd year into the business, he surpassed my agency by over $100,000 in production, and he's been beating me ever since. And since then, we've grown together. We've built together, and we vacationed together. And that person is the one and only Josh Manzano. Give him a round of applause. It's one of the most coachable, hardworking gentlemen that I've ever met.
Nice. No, thanks. I mean, before everyone like knows all, what we've accomplished, I mean, all the kind words that everyone has said thus far, like it's not all fun and gravy. It's not all fun in games until you have to work and get over obstacles. So like, I have to go way back when I first met Dave, I was playing baseball. Like my story is I had no other plans but to be a professional baseball player. And that's when Dave met when I was a junior year in college. And, we just became friends. We hit it off from a mutual friend. And I don't know why he stuck around. I think he wanted tickets to my baseball game or something. But he, developing, I didn't know if he wanted tickets or he was trying to recruit me. But he was persistent. And, my only plan was to be a professional baseball player. I had no other plans. Like, this is what I wanted to do. This is what my parents invested in me, coaching, drills, like you name it. It was all into baseball. That's what I ate, slept, dreamed about, is to be a baseball player. And I got some letters from scouts my junior year, my senior year. The drafts came my junior year, my senior year, and that didn't happen. And the disappointment that I saw from my friends, my family, and most importantly, myself, is like, I spent all 20 some years in this particular plan with no other plan, and I didn't make it. And it was kind of a life flash before my eyes. Like, what do I do? Like, I was just so frustrated. I was working at the hardware store in the meantime, making, $800 a month. And I just felt frustrated. Like, what am I going to do now? I got my degree now. I went to my HR at the hardware store. I was like, hey, don't I deserve like some sort of raise or something? They're like, yeah, we got you. Here's 25 cents on your next paycheck because you have a degree. And I'm like, I can't do this. Like, I gotta do something else. And thankfully, Dave was persistent and was like, hey, you would be good at what I do. And I didn't know what he did. At first, I just knew he had, nice car, nice clothes. And my competitiveness was like, okay, I'm gonna go check it out. Found out he did insurance, was helping people, making a ton, but most importantly, impacting people's lives. And, I found out that this guy, Andrew, in the agency was a top producer. I think he was, making $30,000 a month. And I'm like, what is he doing differently that from everyone else? Andrew's outworking everyone. And that's a phrase that I've been programmed my whole entire life of playing sports, is outwork that next person and you're going to do better. Outwork your competitor and you're going to do better. You're getting better every single day, 1% every single day. And you're just going to, if you do that every single day, you're going to be, almost 300% better every single year. So I did that, outworked Andrew, then became addicted to helping people. The more people I wanted to help, the byproduct of that was commissions, right? And yes, this top producer, top annuities, like all of that is great, but it only lasts for a short time. You get your trophy, and then the next day is like, okay, now what? You start all over again. And the greatest impact that I felt in my career to this day is showing someone else how to do that. They don't have to be exactly like me, but to show and taking someone who was frustrated, taking someone who was a disappointment, because you meet a wealthy person, their family probably wasn't wealthy, their entire family tree. It took that one individual to change the trajectory of their family. And I wanted to be that person from day one. It just didn't work out to be a professional athlete. Now I'm hiring professional athletes. I have 2 of them on my team right now, and the impact that it makes on your entire team. Now, to do it individually is great, but to now share that opportunity with one person, 5 people, 15, 50 people, 100 people. I want to impact 1 million people because I know the byproduct of that, you know, and nothing changes if nothing changes. I knew if I continue to be mediocre, which I mean, when I started on the phones or calling people, I was like, you know, whispering, you know, Dave had to kick my chair a few times, like, raise your voice, like they can't hear you, you know, but it takes development, you know, and repetition and a mentor, which we're going to talk about. But I mean, this has changed my life entirely. And raise your hand or, you know, put in the chat if you ever wanted to quit this industry. You're not alone. You know, I wanted to quit last month. You know, it's frustrating, but like John Maxwell says, your leadership is like a rubber band. It stretches, but it doesn't break. It's like a rubber band ball. There's a bunch of them together, but you're testing and growing. If it's being stretched, it's supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be frustrating because if it's not, you're not growing. You're staying the same person you are last year. You know, so we're going to get into, you know, if you wanted to quit, you're not alone. If you're frustrated, you're not alone, but talk to someone, get a mentor, because if Dave wasn't a great mentor, I wouldn't be here. If he didn't have a mentor, he wouldn't be here, you know, and this is a game of follow the leader. Like, and if that leader hasn't achieved what you want to achieve, there's multiple people that I just named on this call that are doing better. You know, and don't take that for granted because, you know, we didn't have too many in the past of mentors that are above us that are doing 40, 50, 60 million an agency, you know, and that's one thing that we're going to talk about. So we're going to get back in, we're going to get into it, multiplying your effectiveness. That's what we named this title. And if you have the opportunity to have all of your agents place business every single month and have an average of $18,000 across the board, all of your agents, who would want that? Who would want that? And if you're a math person, 70% of our agency, of the master agency, that's their average place business every single month. So how do you get there? Like, because I know Symmetry numbers. You know, if you're doing 5,000, you're like that. Okay, some people want to do that. Like you have to find out some people's goals at first, because if they don't want to make 18,000, you can't make them. It's not in their plans. You know, if they want to make one sale a month, great. Let's do that. Let's put a plan together. But it starts off with having a scale, because if you want that for your agency, who are they emulating? Who are they imitating? Because do they see in their face, okay, I want to be a remarkable agent? And Dave and I, we call it the MOI scale, magnitude of impact. And you take your top performers, just think of your top performers. If you don't have a top performer, you've never been a top performer, that's okay. But take someone's top performer, what are they doing? The magnitude of impact scale is put in our agent's face, our agency's face. The remarkable agent, do you want to be a remarkable agent? Excellent, great, good, all the way down to poor. And on the other side of that, and I have this, I can send this to you guys, but it has all these levels. And what it illustrates is a remarkable agent. What does that agent do? He's investing in leads, this X amount. She's investing in building this X amount. They're setting this many appointments per week. They're selling this many people per week. They're recruiting this many per week, from remarkable, great, or excellent, great, good, all the way down to poor. We put that in their face and they're like, which agent do you want to be? Because this is what it takes. Now, if you don't have that scale, how do they know if they want to be a top performer? How do they know what they're doing? Right? And if you want to start conveying that to your agency, they need to see where they're at. I mean, we do a great job of putting in the face the promotional guidelines, levels of leadership right away. But what if they want to be a top performer all the way down to poor? How much they want to make? What do they want to recruit? how much they want to build. And they can see that in real time, because one thing I love about this industry, it's predictable. You can predict your earned income and your passive income. And if you have both, I mean, that's the ultimate goal, right? Exchange your passive income with your earned income, get to 120, get equity partner, and now you're racking in the equity bonus, right? We want to pull up our leaders and have them in experience, spending 2 months or 1 month in Italy on a 150-foot yacht like Ed Pritchett and Marlin and Tim Penzo are on right now in Sicily. Like, that's living, right? And for some, it might be different. But to have that scale right in front of you, like, that's powerful. Right, Dave?
Absolutely. Again, coming on board, coming on this side of the fence with Symmetry, huge gratitude to all of the, the major successful players. And I'm so grateful to be part of Brad Smith's team and all of his leadership, because we thought we were in a pretty big situation. Hey, we thought we were top producers, and all of a sudden we get over here, we're like, this big now. And one thing that we did very well is we understood that we had to follow a system that worked. And we weren't just following anybody, we were following KPIs, we were measuring everything. And that's how we were able to derive to the most best practice out there. And what we've come to find out is that we all need to identify one thing's first. And I want you guys to write this down. It's your personal, professional, and financial goals. That is the number one thing we all need to do. When you're talking about operational excellence, and you're talking about, hey, we want to operate in the most excellent environment out there possible. Everybody needs to start off with what's important to you. And those things need to be very valuable, because that's why we work, to fulfill our personal wants, our personal need. And then we got to figure out what's our professional. What do we want to accomplish professionally? Whether it's 120, whether it's equity partner, whether it's 3 to be free. I've heard all of these phrases, and I'm just like, hey, I got to get there too. I got to get there too. And then what's your financial goal? Whether it's passive income at a certain level, whether it's personal production, whether it's, hey, being able to have this passive cash flow to be able to fund another venture, whatever it may be. And once me and Josh understood that our personal, professional, financial goals are in line, they're all in sequence. We're in the same line. They're not in different sides of the globe where, hey, I want to be an astronaut, but I also want to be a professional writer. And then at 120 at one point, yeah, and I don't really care to make money, but it's all over the map. It doesn't align, so it's got to be aligned. And Josh, tell me a little bit about, let's hear a little bit about what a personal, professional, and financial standpoint looks for you.
Yeah, what Dave is talking about, the PPFs, professional or personal professional financial goals, we do with every agent, brand new, and they're always evolving, they're always changing. But like, to our scale, Dave's goals have to be aligned with mine. Mine have to be aligned with his as a master agency, right? And if Dave wants to accomplish, let's say 15 million, and I'm only thinking 1 million, how's he gonna get there with, just one agency, right? But the same thing goes with your spouse, with your family. Like, if they know their PPFs, they're what they want to accomplish in the first year, and then 3 years, and then 5 years, it becomes all aligned. Because what do we always succumb to is talking about financial goals. That's it. We I don't know if you guys do that, but we were only talking about, okay, what do you want to accomplish financially? But if you come to an agency that's talking about, okay, I need to know what you want to accomplish personal in 1 year, 3 year, 5 year. I want to know what you want to accomplish professionally. What level of leadership do you want? What contract level? When do you want to give yourself a raise? And then financially, what do you want to make in the next 12 months, 36 months, 5 years? Now you have that template for accountability, right? Talk about the accountability of like, okay, hey, we know exactly how to map out and draw out what you want to accomplish every single week and month, right? And if they're not doing that, what do you think their personal goals and their professional goals are brought into that one-on-one meetings? Hey, you wanted to accomplish this. This is your goal. You gave me permission to hold you accountable. Now this is the steps that we need to do. Like, is there anything going on? Because how many employees that you had before coming to Symmetry asked you about your personal goals, asked you about what do you want to accomplish professionally, asked you about your finances, or were you capped? They didn't care about that. And so what that starts is the relationship of building, and it solidifies what their goal is what they want to make and what they want to accomplish. And then us as mentors need to hold them accountable, because now it's another thing to write or to say your goals out loud. It's another thing to write them down. It's another stretch to tell someone you don't know that you just met. And then it's another stretch to tell your entire organization, because now you have accountability at all ends. And it's like that person that only and it keeps in their goals and says, I want to accomplish this. And they only tell themselves. Well, if they miss, that person only knows, no one else does. They didn't let anyone down. So there's no accountability there. And that's why it's so important to go over those PPS, personal, professional, financial goals. And they're evolving. I have a few agents, Erez All, Andy, Almer, Bernal, like that all do over 300,000 as an individual. Now they're showing others how to do that in personal, production. Now it's like, let's build an agency now. So those are the key, but you have to, once you write them down, you have to believe, right? Right, Dave? What about the belief lid? Everyone comes in and everyone right now has a belief lid that you have right here that is just keeping all of the mentees from overcoming and going to the next level. And if you have that, what does that look like, Dave?
So, what I wanted to add in there before we leave the PPFs is it more importantly, it adds clarity. Nobody knows what you really want until you take a good 30 minutes and write that down, what's deeply important to you. And once you have that, now it's clear. Now you share that with now it's clear. And when you have that clear path with somebody next to you, being able to review that with you, all of a sudden the confidence that you can accomplish that becomes a little stronger. And then all of a sudden now we're saying, I can believe myself that I can do that. Now, that law of belief, guys, it is going to determine whether you accomplish these goals or not. Today, maybe you write this stuff down, you're like, yeah, I want to do it. And then all of a sudden tomorrow you lose it a little bit. Next day you lose it a little bit. And then all of a sudden somebody comes in, holds you accountable. Listen, bro, you said you want to do this. It's possible. Anything is possible. You got to have faith. You got to have belief, and you got to hold accountability. And that belief lid is going to allow you to be able to achieve a little bit more. And the reason why you're able to achieve a little bit more is because you believe you're able to accomplish these things a little bit more. Every day, your belief lid will be challenged. Just like the rubber band analogy, Josh, that you were mentioning earlier, we're going to stretch you. And that stretch is going to be uncomfortable, but after a certain period of time, that rubber band gets used to that stretch, and then all of a sudden we can stretch a little bit more, and a little bit more. I mean, if it wasn't for us joining Symmetry and us meeting Brad Smith and the team, and all these amazing people, I wouldn't think I can build an agency over 500 people, maybe not even over 30 people. Because it sounds crazy, but being introduced, that just stretched my belief. And then of course, adding a little bit of faith and watching and being coached by somebody that is doing this, what I want to achieve. Now, all of a sudden the magic happens. And one of the things is being coachable. And Josh, I want you to share a little bit about this, because you've had coaching your entire life from baseball. You don't know anything else besides coaching. Someone like me that did not have coaching their entire life. I probably played 2 sports in my history. Coaching was difficult for me until I started agreeing with my faults and saying, admitting, and I have to submit to coaching in somebody else's direction. So Josh, can you share a little bit about coaching and what that means to you?
Yeah.
Your career.
I mean, that's all I knew. Like Dave said, is coaching. I knew that you can replace coaching with leader. Leaders are to make others' success easy. Leaders and coaches is to make others' success easy. And that's what I always knew is like, okay, my coach, I have to trust the character. I have to trust the integrity that they have to lead this team or to lead me into the direction and the opportunity on the other side of the peak performance or the top performer. I have to trust that Dave knew how to do 30,000 when I asked, well, why stop at 30? How can we make 77,000? And you know, we kind of looked at each other and we're like, well, let's do it. Because we are here, we are all here, and you are in the position you are because of the way you think. And if you're thinking small, you're going to remain small. But if you have a coach and a mentor that's already been successful and already knows how to onboard, how to make your first sale, how to do 10,000, how to build an agency, why not follow that person? This is a huge opportunity to play follow the leader. And if that leader is doing exactly what you want and that you see yourself and the results that you want, do what they do. That's as simple as that. Like the mentor is supposed to coach you, not do the work for you. They can't do the work for you. They can show you a roadmap of actually how to get there. My coaches in baseball, they didn't play the game for me. They didn't go up to bat for me. My mentees, I'm not running their appointments for them. I'm not setting the appointments. I'm showing them how to actually do that. And there's four things. There are four things that, if you guys are taking notes about coaching, on how to actually coach someone, you tell them how to do that. Tell them what it is. Okay, that's the first one. Whether it's recruiting or setting appointments, selling, right? Now you show them how to do that. You're interviewing with them. They're on the three-way, or you're setting appointments with them. You're showing them actually how to do that. Okay. Now it's let me see you do it first. Let me see you do it. And that way, the last one is, okay, let's coach you now on what you did good, what you can improve on for the next time. If you do those four things, those tell, show, let, now you coach, that person can do that and duplicate that. Because what we're doing is these processes, and we're going to get into the 4 M's, which everyone does really well at Symmetry. And what are the 4 M's? Model, mimic, master, multiply. If you cannot multiply or you cannot duplicate, you can't coach someone to do that. And that's the whole game, is you're multiplying and you're coaching and you're duplicating what you do. You can't expect them to do 100% if you're a top performer. Not everyone's a top performer. Not everyone wants to be a top performer. But if you can get them aligned with their goals and they accomplish their goals, okay, that's when I know that person can contribute to our organization. And I know they're hitting all their goals and they're aligned.
Yeah. Josh, I want to touch a little bit about that MOI scale you talked about a little earlier, because that's
everyone was asking about it. We're going to send it. We'll send a digital. We're going to get it together because I see it in the chat. We'll send it out.
Yeah, magnitude of impact, guys. And so what the magnitude of impact is, and it shows really, we all know the 4 quadrants or the few quadrants that are there. And you say, hey, what's a remarkable agent? How much do they invest in leads? How many appointments do they set on a weekly basis? How much production do they do? And then you got an excellent agent, somebody who does a little bit under that. And then when you got an average agent, and then you got a poor agent. So when you set up that magnitude of impact and you say, hey, where do you see yourself being? Do you want to be a poor, average, great, or remarkable, or excellent or remarkable? And when you show them that and you say, okay, what you want to be excellent, you want to be remarkable. Okay, great. Now we got to show you the model. And then it's like the first thing is the model, right? What are we going to do? That model is review our scripts. We're going to train every day. We're going to role play every day. We're going to buy leads every day. And now you start mimicking the guys that are doing. That's the model. Then we mimic. Okay, this is what this guy's doing. This guy's doing. This is exactly what his work week looks like. Mimic that to the best of your ability. And then day after day, you're going to mimic and mimic and mimic until finally you reach mastery. And what is mastery? Mastery is when now you understand why we do what we do, why we say what we say, and why we get the results we get. So you have a well-rounded understanding why we ask for health questions, why we ask FIF questions, and in the severity of getting these questions answered, why we have to talk about whether they have insurance today or not, and how that's going to affect their family if they have insurance or whether it doesn't. And now we show. So those are that's the whole model. And then the last one is multiply, because if you can do it, somebody else can do it too. And once you've modeled, mimicked, mastered, now it's multiply. I can show others to do the same thing. It's the same thing what I did with Josh and what Josh did to his, and so on and so on and so forth. And when you have those those 4 M's down, and you got the model, mimic, master, multiply, all of a sudden you have an operation of excellence. And when you look at Josh, you see his operation, they called it the factory, because it's just like top producer after top producer after top producer after top producer. And it's because we didn't deviate from those 4 M's. So Josh, tell us a little bit about that and how that worked for you.
Yeah, I mean, we're all doing it. That's what's great, is just if you put it on paper as a 4 M's, or you have another acronym of what you use, it all works. It doesn't work if you don't work. And if you have that in front of you, like your agents see that in front of them, they're going to know exactly what to do. And some may say, oh, I'm not good at holding people accountable because I feel like I'm calling them out. That's okay too. But what is that MOI scale? What does that MOI scale do? Is like, I know that this person wants to be remarkable. Let's say that individual wants to be a remarkable agent. Well, let's pull your numbers. And what do you fall under? Do you fall under remarkable numbers that you're bringing back of your results? And why, if you are, great, let's keep doing it. What was working? If you dropped under there, what are those metrics? Did you fall under good? If you wanted remarkable, now you can see where those numbers landed. And it's just so much easier to hold that agent accountable, because it says it on the paper, right? You didn't say it. Like for me, I mean, accountability, I think is the foundation of why our agents and our agency has just skyrocketed their production and their business and their agent, is because they see that it's all up in their face. And we do a good job of having that promotional guidance. If you notice, I'm saying, when are you going to give yourself a raise? Because you can do that. I don't know if you can do that at your last job, but you can see what you need to do, even to jump up and have a slingshot bonus. So if they see it, they can believe it. And then, it comes with the work. But you don't have to have, the mistake that agents have when they first come in. Well, let me see you do it. Let me see if this works. I don't want to recruit. I want to succeed on my own. No, you don't have to. There's others that you can lean on to help you and guide both of you. The buddy system is the best. Why do you think the military has the buddy system? It works, right? But lastly, with all of that said, I mean, it doesn't work if you don't work, right? Nothing changes if nothing changes. You can have
I really like what Ian said on the builder call. Massive action, constant correction.
Yeah.
All of this works if you work, just like you just say. And massive action is going to allow you to find areas to improve. A little bit of action, a little bit of correction. Well, that's not going to give you the result. It doesn't give you remarkable or excellent results. Massive action, will create that opportunity for you to say, you know what, I need help here, here, and here, and here. Can we role play that? Can we talk about that? How do I handle that objection? How do I overcome this objection? And that massive action will allow you to say, okay, I'm now wanting to be more coachable. Today, I'm more coachable than I've ever been in my life because of massive action. And I see how many mistakes I've made. I see how many mistakes I've done. And it's like, man, I'm so like, why didn't I get more correction? And today, the most important thing is we have the opportunity to correct our mistakes with massive action and surrounding ourselves around the people that will pour into you and hold you accountable. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the most amazing things about this organization is that they got your back every step of the way. You just got to show up. Yep. And you'll get taken care of.
It's numbers. Everyone's going to make mistakes, right? And it's the game of repetitiveness. You're dialing, you're calling, you're recruiting. You can't just do one of each and then expect to blow up, you know, that just doesn't happen. And you have to get used to it. So we'll end this with, I hope that touched one person. That's our goal, is to touch one person that can take this and attach it to their organization and just blow up, you know, for it. And the last I want to leave with you is VCE. Vision. You have to paint a vision either for yourself or for your organization. What are you doing? And I'll give you an example. I'm like, hey, my second year, I'm like, we're doing 1.5 and I'm going to do 300,000 of it. And I'm going to do 5 million of annuities. All right. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are we doing together collectively? Paint the vision when you're recruiting. Hey, my organization is going to 10 million. Your 100,000 that you want to make, I'm going to get you there. And this is how you fit in. Your contribution is fitting into our team. You're a part of that. I'm going to help you get there. But I need 2 commitments. I'm committing to you to get you and your family there, because I know your personal and professional financial goals. I need your commitment to execute and do these steps on a daily and a weekly basis. Now, if we can put a plan together to accomplish your PPFs, when do you want to start?
Yep. Vision, commitment, and execution. Last thing is execution, guys. It's really now finding the motivation from within, because I can only motivate you for about 20 minutes. And now you have to find the motivation from within to really take off. What's your why? And that why will consistently evolve.
Fantastic, gentlemen, man. That was a full-on leadership clinic on multiplication there. That was unbelievable. So definitely touch more than one, definitely touch hundreds and even over 1,000 here. And man, love the 4 M's, man. Model, mimic, master, multiply. I mean, just that strategy, right? Simple too, like the actionable stuff. Really appreciate it. Spivey, take it home.
There in 10 days.
Just tremendous amount of gratitude, guys. I've got about a pack and a half of Post-it notes all over my desk. So appreciate the nuggets and appreciate the wisdom that you guys poured in, and just continue to be grateful for you all and what you'll continue to do and the lives that you'll change along the way. So everybody, we appreciate you tuning in this week. Everybody have a wonderful week. Let's go out there and accomplish some goals, change some lives. And we look forward to seeing everybody again next week.
See you guys. Thanks again.
Thank you.